if there's a chance that we can live in the Connie and Carla world of wigs, West Hollywood, and belting Broadway hits, we're gonna take it. So today we're challenging each other to draft the ultimate Broadway musicals, and absolutely no one is laying low. Welcome to the No More Late Fees podcast. I'm Danielle.
And this week, we needed backup for this undercover Broadway operation. So joining us today is two-time Emmy winner, TV producer, writer, editor, media pro, and host of the podcast, The Tangle, Kyle Ridley. Welcome.
Welcome, Kyle.
Thank you. So sweet to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, before we dive into our game, why don't you tell everybody about your podcast, about yourself, and also we're going to do what are we watching afterwards.
Okay, lovely. I'm always watching stuff. Yeah, so I've been a journalist for 20 plus years, started in high school writing for the local paper and then did freelance writing all throughout my 20s. And then in my 30s, I moved to broadcast where I was producing morning TV in the DC area. So morning news and lifestyle shows and booking guests every day for live TV. I booked more than 15,000 segments. So I got to meet a lot of cool people along the way. You know, those 3 a.m. wake ups, but it's not all fun. Along with all the fun segments, you're also reporting on politics and crime and everything going on in the world. So when I turned 40, I think I was winding down on that. So about a year ago, I left and started my own media company and my own podcast, The Tangle with Kyle Ridley. And I'm enjoying that. It's a long form interview series where I speak with mostly celebrities. Sometimes I bring on friends, but we go deep and shallow, basically discussing the highs and lows in life. And then I ask them what they're tangled in that they're loving, tangled in that they need to get untangled from, frustrating stuff. And yeah, it's been nice to get to speak with these people because as a TV producer, you're prepping anchors and doing all the research for these guests so your anchors can interview them for 3 or 4 minutes. And there's never enough time. So now I'm sitting down with these people for 30 minutes, an hour, and it's fun. You get to the underbelly of their upbringing and their career.
That is fun. That's really
amazing.
cool. We love that.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive into what we've been watching lately. Jackie, do you have something that you've been watching?
I thought I had something, but I don't think so. I think it's the same old,
The same rotation?
same rotation. We watched a tiny bit of the Olympics, the ice skating, but yeah, it just really knocking out movies for the podcast this
Yeah, I
week.
know. How about you, Kyle?
I am always watching stuff. So I have my elliptical in the basement. So every day I go down and that's where I catch up on all my shows. And I even keep lists of everything I watch. So my favorites are either dark, awkward comedies or dramas, stuff that's going to make me cry. I'm not a big action, sci-fi, fantasy, animation type Marvel guy. So a lot of those character-driven films and shows are what I'm watching. Last night I watched If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You with Rose Byrne, and she's nominated for Best Actress. And she's just the best. She can do comedy and drama like no other. She's one of my favorites. I also watched His and Hers, a miniseries on Netflix, which was really good, which I really enjoyed. It was produced by Jessica Chastain, who's one of my favorite actresses. As far as TV, I mean, I'm not a big reality person, but my best friend Nick got me into a couple of the Housewives recently, so I have delved into that just for some mindless viewing. And then other than that, trying to catch up on everything that's, nominated for the Oscars this year. So I watched the Springsteen movie and One Battle After Another and Begonia. So yeah, I love watching. It's like what I'm doing every night.
All right, Jackie, what game are we playing?
So this week we're drafting our ultimate Broadway musicals. We're going to do it round robin style. So we'll take turns picking one musical per round, and we do have categories for the round as well.
Okay.
And if someone says your musical, no repeats, no take backs. So the round one category, cultural icon.
And
Round
we don't have to be in our time frame, right?
No.
Oh, okay. That makes it bigger.
Yeah. Round 2, underrated gems. Round 3, pure camp. And round 4, all around favorite. And we can repeat between rounds, I will say, but not in
Okay.
the same category.
This is hard. There's so many to pick from, and I just
Yeah.
feel like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna remember something before I go to bed and be very upset that
Yeah.
I didn't say it. And of course, the overlap between musical and what was on Glee. It's a very thin line. Do you have one for cultural icon, Jackie?
I do. I'm going Rent.
Okay.
It was a time and a place and a
Oh,
statement.
I picked out songs.
Oh, no, these are just the musicals.
Damn, that makes it harder. Okay.
Kyle, do you have your cultural icon?
I would say cultural icon. I really love Beautiful, the Carole King musical. It's one that I've seen 3 times, and
Ooh.
she's an icon in itself, a rock and roll Hall of Famer, and that music is timeless. And I didn't know how many songs that she wrote for other people, specifically Motown artists. So that was an eye-opening musical. And I mean, if there's an icon, it's Carole King.
Yes.
What's that movie, Jackie, that is kind of loosely based on her life? Music of the Heart? No, what is it called?
Music of the Heart is Meryl
No,
Streep.
yeah, that's Gloria Stefan.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if you've seen it or recommend it if you haven't, because it is a good film, very loosely based on her life, but I can't think of it right now. But
Grace
it'll
of
come
My
to
Heart.
Grace of My Heart. Yes.
Okay, I'll look it
Yeah.
up if I haven't seen it. I do keep a list of everything I've seen. Maybe it's in the backlog of forgetful. I'll look it up.
Ah, cultural icon. I'm going to do Dreamgirls
Oh, that's a good one.
because my song was a Dreamgirls song, so I'll go with Dreamgirls.
Excellent. Round two, Kyle, we'll start you off. Underrated gem.
Oh, well, I have to go with Jagged Little Pill because I am the biggest Alanis Morissette fan. She's been my number one for more than 30 years now. And that musical, while it was nominated for a bunch of Tonys, it was short-lived because it was a pandemic musical and it
Oh,
Oh,
closed in the pandemic and it went on tour around the world, but I think it deserved a longer run. And talk about another cultural icon, Alanis Morissette. I just find so much healing in her music, and that it dealt with a lot of heavy issues, but I think it's going to stand the test of time because it really spoke to today and what people are going through. So I love that.
uh,
do you have one, Danielle?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I am going to do Waitress. I don't know if it's underrated, but I feel like to the general public, a lot of people don't know it. And Sarah Borealis, like all the songs are amazing. If you want to cry, that's that's a good album to listen to, soundtrack.
If you want to cry, I saw Sarah Bareilles a year or two ago at the Kennedy Center when
Hmm.
before it was taken over by Trump, and she sang "She Used to Be Mine," and she brought out Rufus Wainwright, and it's on
Hmm.
YouTube
Oh,
if you want to go look at it. But their version, that duet, it makes me cry almost every time. It's a beautiful, beautiful song, beautiful show.
She's amazing. We went to see her before the musical came out, so she previewed all the songs. So we're listening and we're like, oh, this is amazing. And not really thinking anything of it. And then the musical, because I actually saw the Waitress movie when I was living in New York, and I love Carrie Russell. And so I was like, well, it can't be better than the movie. And I was
mhm.
like, oh, this is actually pretty good, legit.
Good. Good.
But she's great. What about you, Jackie? What was your underrated gem?
So, to your point, if you don't frequent Broadway shows, there was a movie made about it, but we did it on the podcast and it didn't perform very well. Hedwig and the Angry Inch. I have seen it on Broadway when Ted Diggs was Hedwig, and it's just fantastic. And most of the time, if you mention that show outside of theater circles, they have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah. Because when we did it on the podcast, I heard of it, but I never watched it.
Yeah.
And we already know how I feel about it. So,
Round three, Pure Camp, Danielle, you're up.
Pure Camp. So I had Rocky Horror Picture Show because I don't think you can get campier. Maybe you
That's
can, but it's pretty damn camp.
Kyle.
I'm going with Death Becomes Her. I saw that
Ooh.
last year and it was super fun. And I'm a huge fan of the movie from the early 90s. And I think they did it justice.
Was Michelle Williams in the one that you saw?
She was in it. Yeah, she was great.
Oh,
And Megan Hilty. And yeah, it's still running. And I encourage everyone to see it. It was fun how they redid the set to make it look like the movie, specifically the staircase and falling down the
mm-hmm.
staircase to have the neck turn around. It's a pure camp fun show.
Megan Hilty is amazing.
She is. I went Moulin Rouge. I just saw that last year, and
Mm.
I like that they updated the music to be pop culture of
When
today.
you told me that, I was mad. I was like, I want to see that shit. I want to see the original. That's why I'm here.
It was fun though. And then last all around favorite, Danielle.
Grease is the word. I listened to that soundtrack growing up as a kid over and over and over and over again. Love it.
Kyle.
Mine is Les Mis. Another one that can make me cry every time I watch it. Just beautiful. And I even like the movie. I've seen it live and just tugs at your heart every time you see it. And
I was
just,
gonna ask you about the movie.
I enjoyed the movie, but I hadn't seen the musical. I had saw the music movie before I saw the musical.
Mm.
So maybe it heightened the musical because I knew the songs. But I mean, Anne Hathaway won an Oscar.
Russell Crowe should have never been in that movie. I'm gonna say it. Like, sir. Mm-mm. We went for, I think it came out like Christmas or something. We went as a family. It didn't go over well. We've learned now that the Christmas movies we see are horrible. We've got to stop going to see a movie during
On
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah. What about you, Jackie?
For
All around favorite.
me, it's gonna be Mamma Mia.
Uh,
I love the show. The songs are all fun. And then, of course, the
ABBA.
movie with Meryl is a good time as well.
Somehow I knew we would cross over with that one, so I was like, I'm not gonna say it. All
Perfect.
right. You're going into witness protection, but it's the 90s or 2000s. Which movie or TV universe are you hiding in?
That's difficult because some of my favorite
Right?
TV shows, I think of like the background setting and the actual family dynamics, and they might not be the most enjoyable, but the characters are. Oh gosh. I mean, so my favorite shows growing up, my favorite sitcom was Roseanne. I know she's frowned upon now, but back in the day, that was a very groundbreaking show. And Aunt Jackie, Laurie Metcalf, is like
Yes.
just the number one comedic actress all time. And I love how it broke the mold for TV families. We didn't see families like that in the past. We almost still don't. Midwest families, people overweight, struggling with money. They dealt with very heavy topics, but brought the humor in every sense. And while it was a hit show, I also think it's underrated critically because
Mhm.
I think it redefined a generation. So I would maybe pick Roseanne. And then my other favorite show, which only got one season in the early 90s, was My So-Called Life, another heart-tugging one that I just can never get over. I still want them to bring it back.
Jason Katims is so underrated. I don't think people know how much he's made a dent in television. He
Mhm.
made that, Friday Night Lights, like everything he touches just makes you cry and feel it pulls your heartstrings. That's a good one. What about you, Jackie?
Well, I want to say Veronica Mars, but I know she would figure me out immediately that I was just there
But
to
then
hide
she
out.
could help you.
That's true. Maybe I will stick with Veronica Mars.
I'm going with Sister Act. I think there's no
Oh,
safer
yeah.
place than a convent.
And then you
Nobody's
get to
looking for you there.
sing and
Yeah.
perform.
I don't
That
have to
does
worry
seem
about what
fun.
I'm gonna wear. Yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
hide out at the convent.
Well, now it's time to put Kyle in the hot seat for his three favorite employee picks. Let's see what movie he'll stock on the shelves at Blockbuster. And this week's theme is undercover movies.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can include this week's pick, I guess.
Absolutely.
So Connie and
Hmm.
Carla, they go undercover as drag queens. And Sister Act, I mean, that is one that I grew up watching and would memorize the songs and would perform the songs like to
Yes.
my family. It can still get me going. Another one, oh gosh, off the top of my head, I love Catch Me If You Can. I love anything that Leonardo DiCaprio does, and I think he's a brilliant actor, and that's one of my favorite films of his. So Catch Me If You Can is one that came to mind.
Love that movie.
Love that. Connie and Carla, Sister Act, and Catch Me If You Can. So, what we'll do is we're going to post your picks on our story and let everybody vote on which one is their favorite pick.
Perfect.
Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and follow on your adventures on social?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Kyle Ridley with an underscore. I am on TikTok and YouTube if you just search my name, Kyle Ridley, or you can search my podcast, The Tango with Kyle Ridley, and then The Tango with Kyle Ridley, wherever you get your podcast. And I also have a website, kyleridley.com. I'm trying to be everywhere.
Well, you guys can find all of Kyle's links in our show notes. And as always, make sure you follow us at No More Late Fees on TikTok, Instagram, all the platforms. And don't forget to join us next week for The Emperor's New Groove, where ego meets karma, potions go wrong, and somehow the sidekick steals the whole movie. And surprise, surprise, by what my rating is of this movie. So buckle up.
And as always, be kind and rewind.